there it is.
So the interesting thing about Gnar is that a lot of players itemize them really weird. They try to do this the old traditional Gnar, but there's a lot of interesting itemization paths that you can actually go. For instance, just like Ezreal, and I know I'll get meme for this until pro players start doing it too, Leandri's on Gnar is insane as an item. Because he has two very, very big AP ratios, but he can utilize Madness very well in a fight, utilizes the HP very, very well, and the burn percent, he's able to proc it with so many different abilities. So it's a very, very good item for him.
We get to meme you until it happens, though.
Yeah, like Leandri's on Ezreal. That's popping up.
It did happen, and now it's happening more.
It's happening in a lot of places.
Yeah.
Critical
finally.
thinking skills is, you know.
I think you were talking about that, like, last year?
About a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
You know? Like,
has been remarked on multiple times in interviews, even, by Korean pro gamers. And it's just really strong. It was especially strong against Aphelios, because you can lock him down and then just burst him like one combo, and he doesn't have much mobility. Ashe is kind of similar, except, you know, she doesn't have the insane lifesteal and, you know, 1v5 potential that a Aphelios has. So, although she has a lot of support, I think that combo of Ezreal Bard is still going to be insanely strong, not to mention the Zoe.
Yep.
So, definitely a lot of tools to deal with Ruler, who does seem to be the main crux of the composition for Gen.G.
And I like that Nuguri is going Grasp of the Undying to just be a little bit tankier, have some nice sustain inside of the game, because really all that he is a defensive lineman for Ezreal Zoe Bard, and Ezreal Zoe Bard will take over the game. The onus is on Gen.G to find picks and run into DAMWON, but it's really hard for them to do so unless they are very far ahead. But if Ezreal and Zoe get far ahead, it's pretty much lights out. Also, the amount of sin by the double Scorch on Gen.G. And they're mostly doing that to just try to maintain as much control in the laning phase as possible to offset the Olaf and Volibear dynamic, or at least that would be something that would make sense. Whether
yeah, I mean, if they were thinking about it, which again, I don't think they were. Which sounds strange to say, but I think it is true based on the amount of times we do see Scorch in the LCK. They might have missed that melee minion XP. They are being very zoned out here in the bottom lane. This is the power of Ashe. Ruler 9-2 on the pick, and this is the first time BDD and Life have gone for this combo.
A little bit of a tag. Definitely a bit of a rough start here by BeryL and Ghost. Getting zoned out. The minion wave now, I mean, it's very, very big. This is absolutely positively one of those spots where you could look for a cheater on wave 3. I mean, this is literally the building blocks of it. Yeah. Somewhat nice poke, all your spellcasters remaining. This is a bread and butter example of a spot that you can look at it for, and it's so powerful against teleport AD carry users because it steals their teleport from them pretty much, because you reset, you get Cull, and then you're like, okay, now I'm happy in the lane. You pull it in and
instead, we're gonna do about a half a plate worth of damage. Might be able to get this plate here.
Yeah, they're gonna get it because of the size of the wave and that they're both ranged.
Yeah.
So they get the 160 gold, they keep them pushed up, but Ezreal's not really feeling unhappy, and that's the whole point. He's gonna be able to keep up an EXP. Bard's eventually gonna start roaming. Ezreal becomes self-sufficient.
This is really annoying for Canyon, by the way. He's being spotted throughout the entire jungle. Just cleared his whole jungle, and you can see that there were a couple of hawk shots, one at level 2, and then we saw the Scryer plant spot him out on the top side of the map. So you can see that Clid, because of this, is able to take the top Scuttle Crab. He's now going to go to the bottom Scuttle Crab and take both of them. He's going to leave his camps up to do this, but he'll be able to take those very valuable camps away. You can see this bottom side of the map has kind of leveled out from here. It's not as dominant as level 1 Ashe was. As we're getting a trade down here, this isn't looking very good for Nuguri, to be honest. A couple autos will do it as the flash to get away from that slice and dice.
Whoa.
As there you go. Rascal is going to flash in and pick up that first blood on the solo kill.
And that's really big for Gen.G, because this is happening in a lane where it should not happen. And so Renekton really like the itemization by Rascal, goes for the Ninja Tab Eyes. And so this is interesting. Now, the wave, you see, Volibear's in bot wave, and the wave was coming in. So I don't know why Ruler and Life were pushing when the wave was pulling. As let's take a look at how this all transpires. So, nice stun. Nuguri misses his stun. And that is a very big component as to why this goes the way that it does. He tries to flash into the brush, as ShowMaker has redemption, and I wonder how that's communicated over. I mean, I can just imagine that ShowMaker says that he has it.
Yeah, I mean, that, you know, he's probably taking a look at some of the other lanes. That mid lane is not exactly the most action-packed for right now. Karma and Zoe just farming it out. And yeah, it's kind of the Nuguri effect. You remember he got killed in the top side in game number 1, but that one was with a gank. So this one just being a solo kill is quite annoying. ShowMaker now, ooh, getting pretty close.
Yeah.
Are these solo laners too dying? He is going to have to go back and potentially TP back to lane.
And we'll see what he picks up. A Lost Chapter by is going to come in here for Zoe. And so, on the flip side though, Karma only getting Merc Treads right now. And Gen.G, they're going to pick themselves up the first Cloud Dragon. And a lot of this is a byproduct of everything that's happening in both bot lane and mid lane. Volibear has a lot more freedom because of the lane setups compared to the Olaf. Olaf just trying to power farm it up.
Well.
Oh, well.
What?
You know, I mean, well.
Nuguri hops away, and then Rascal's like, well, I didn't want to fight anyway, so... A little bit awkward between the top laners there. They, you know, they kind of locked eyes, and then they looked away at the same time, and then they locked eyes again at the same time. It was, you know, getting a little bit uncomfortable up there. But nobody actually commits to the fight. And Nuguri going for the double Dorans early. Really trying to put on that early game harass pressure with some of his auto attacks.
And I think what is really going to be the interesting point in this game should be third dragon. That's generally when Ezreal Zoe can start to come online, and because Ghost got his tier pretty early, he should be able to, assuming that he's playing well, have the mirror mana available at third dragon. So we shall see if that does end up being the case. Now it also depends on if Gen.G can actually I almost bit my tongue, I'm sorry. If they almost instantly take Mountain Dragon, because that would put a lot more pressure on the Ezreal to try to complete it that much sooner, and that one might be a tall ask. So it's assumed that they won't kill it instantaneously.
No. We can assume. We'll have to see how it actually plays out. We're seeing Ghost and BeryL. They're trying to fight back now, but it's not the easiest thing in the world. The amount of poke that Ruler and Life have is just the most annoying thing for them in the lane, and so they're just going to have to try to play it slow. Maybe they're just going to leave Ghost here. As you can see now, BeryL is going to go grab a Chime probably, as Nuguri just slowly being pushed in. This has kind of turned into a farm lane, as neither side really wants to take a big fight for now.
Well, BeryL and Ghost continuing to get shoved in. This has really been a series so far of a bit of a diffy in bot lane.
A bit of a diffy.
A bit of a, you know, it's one of those. Sometimes
Differoony.
It's usually a diffy in the jiffy. That one,
yeah,
was, well. You know. But last game it was. That one, yeah. That was definitely a bit of a gap.
Yeah. And it's not really being helped by the fact that, of course, BeryL is on the roam once again. The first Rift Herald is going to go down here to Gen.G. DWG are like, yeah, we can't fight this. And they're not going to do the thing that some other teams will do, which is panic and send like every lane to there and try to take a weird forced fight and just lose it. They say, yeah, I mean, we kind of messed up in the early game. We just got to let it go. And that they will. But this will, of course, be very good for Gen.G. Try to get that snowball going. Looks like maybe Clid is going to use that up in the top lane real quick. So they're going to put on the pressure here. Oh.
Well, as everything has been going, Gen.G are getting ahead now even further in top lane, and this is not something that should have been happening from the draft phase. This is a byproduct of Rascal getting that solo kill and getting really good recall over Gnar too, because you just look at what they both came back with off of that. Double Dawn's Blade versus Ninja Tab Eyes, and very, very nice. The control being exerted down in bot lane is helping out quite a lot, and so this will be interesting because DAMWON are going to be...
Canyon is just really going ham here. He's going to flash the wall. Look at this guy. As overcomes ShowMaker's going to be stealing all these flashes, and Clid can't get away from this. Does he have the damage?
How many years?
Yes, he should. And down he will go. Meanwhile, up in the top side, Rascal actually forced the ultimate here. Nuguri's ult also on cooldown, as it looks like things are slowly tipping again into the favor of DAMWON, as now they're looking to dive top lane.
And Karma's not here. She doesn't have TP.
No TP,
oh, man.
No ultimate here for Rascal either, so they're just going to be very patient with this one.
Where were you?
Yeah, Rascal's going forward, and you can see that Canyon is going to run up. The axe is going to be flashed, but the flash comes in from Nuguri, and this guy's dead. Down he will go. That's going to be a second kill to ShowMaker.
Ooh, and because it's Cannon Wave, it's actually taking so long for the wave to die.
Yeah.
And so ShowMaker not even really going to get punished all that much. He gets some of the minions here. BDD going for a chain, doesn't even able to get it. Ooh, Paddlestar miss. You know what? Everyone's missing a little bit right now.
Yeah,
you know,
a little bit off in the second game.
So here's the surety. The Mountain Dragon goes the way of Gen.G. We expected this to be the case, and it's a really nice pickup for them. Karma just got 6 magic resistance in mid lane. That's pretty big. That's almost like the passive runes that you can at the very start of the game. So quite nice, and she's only going to get more as the game goes on. So nice one mountain.
Oh, wait.
Okay,
ShowMaker's going to... The one auto is barely going to get him. And down he will go. It's a nice little shutdown going towards the Karma in the mid lane. As we'll have to see exactly how that one got started. There was no flash, no ultimate from Clid, as now we're just diving a million turrets.
And we'll see what Gen.G... Oh!
Okay, Ragnarok has to be used here. There's so many members in the mid lane, as that's going to be a nice Tempered Fate. Do they have the damage, though? The stun comes in, one auto. Not going to be enough with all the shielding that Gen.G do have.
And so they managed to repel that push in mid. Meanwhile, in top lane, Nuguri trying to shove in the wave, trying to do whatever he possibly can. Ezreal with the Monomune now completed. We'll see if he can complete that minigame. By third dragon. And it's interesting because normally this minigame you play against Olaf. Olaf generally gets first and second Drake as a tendency to how drafts around Olaf tend to go. And then third dragon is when you begin to contest him. And it's almost like a natural play out of the game. So we take a look at this, and ShowMaker, he comes in, Paddlestar can't do anything, picks up,
one flash,
flashes with himself, picks up one, flashes into another. It's like a Mario speedrun. I don't even know what's going on here. But probably about 400 years it took her to learn all of that.
Ooh, ShowMaker.
Yeah, ShowMaker just going forward for a trade that doesn't really have a purpose and ends up getting punished for it. I actually saw in the, do you know the guy that does like the League of Legends champion power levels? You ever see those on Reddit front page? Every time a new champ comes out, he does an analysis and tries to like, evaluate everything that they're known for and capable of doing, and then he places them in tiers. And I believe in the most recent one, he said that there's something that suggests Zoe is 1,400 years old.
Well, they're going to be cutting down on the years here with another gank. Really trying to strip the life away of ShowMaker. And Nuguri, you know, after that little bit of a hiccup early on, he's been doing really well. As another fight here in the mid lane, as down will go the Olaf. You can see that ShowMaker and Canyon are just so aggressive with this. That's a nice little hop away. Nuguri was not in the shop, as was very apparent by his ability to get away from that one.
Really close call there. And the thing that confuses me a bit is Gen.G have rotated top lane. Ocean is in 2 minutes. Now, the Rift Herald's coming up, so perhaps they want the bot lane in proximity for that. But let's take a look at how this all transpired. So ShowMaker tries to get damage in, Volibear pops into the air, and Olaf just dies. I mean, there wasn't really anything super fancy or special to it. And so now Rift Herald's about to come up, 1:30 on that Ocean Dragon. And what they're doing here is they're allocating their bot lane duo to top to be in close proximity to the Rift Herald to guarantee as little resistance as possible out of DAMWON. And also, I guess, trying to get that last turret, or well, last hits on the turret. There's no fights remaining. We're at 15 minutes. But in doing so, interestingly enough, teleport on Ezreal. This creates the window for, I think, DAMWON to get that dragon. And it just befuddles me, as I'm not sure why this would be the ideal play, because getting to Soul Point is so important for them. And giving DAMWON an extra 5 minutes of breathing room on a dragon capture just makes no sense.
Yeah, it's pretty rough, especially when you're going up against Ezreal Zoe. And Canyon is just, I don't know what's gotten into this guy. He's down 2 levels on Rascal, but he's still just going straight forward. Not scared of anything. Knew he had ShowMaker nearby.
So the bot lane's resetting, but you can see that they don't have first action at the dragon. So now they're going to fight through Fog of War. They do have Hawkshot, and they're going to be able to plant wards as they advance, but the low ground should be on the side of DAMWON. Ezreal might be forced to use his teleport here. We'll see if he commits it. He doesn't have a purpose to hold it for anything else, so I would expect him to use it. And no, he's actually just going to run down. Does not have Iceborne Gauntlet. And this is a scary timing. Yep. Mid-tier 1 going down doesn't really matter all that much.
I think they were just trying to line it up with the take on the Ocean Drake, but they put down the Rift Herald, and then they didn't rotate. So a lot of that potential pressure is just taken away with the Rift Herald going down. As you can see, just waiting in the wings, just trying to poke out a little bit.
Oh, and the Scuttle Crab about to dissipate Canyon. They're trying to get into the river.
Oh, trying to get on top of Clid here, but he is incredibly tanky. Take a look at all the shielding that they have. It's pretty insane. Here comes Nuguri. Looking for that engage. They're only going to get the Ashe as Ruler could be in some trouble. Well, actually.
Yeah, Nuguri not getting stunned.
Nobody actually decides to go in there. I was okay. There's the flash. Is finally it goes in, but that's a little bit too little, too late. As the magical journey going to be denied, and here comes Clid straight in the front door. As the bounces are going to come in with his auto attacks, and that will be enough. As Nuguri hesitated on pulling the trigger and then pulled it a little bit too late, and baits his team into an awkward spot. Gen.G now will be able to pick up that Ocean Drake.
And this is so big for them because Soul Point is one of their outs in the game that can obviously resist against the late game scaling of DAMWON. So this will be very interesting now. We can also see Ezreal. He didn't have the Muramana available at this team fight. Didn't have the Iceborne Gauntlet because he's been stunted. So it was very awkward for him. But like you mentioned, Nuguri whiffed the stun onto the Ashe, didn't get the flash out of Ruler for that, and then goes in for the engage, but there wasn't the kind of follow-up there that would need to be necessary. So DAMWON failing the dance and end up getting punished for it. So take a look at this one more time. Bubble goes out onto... Okay, I don't know why they started the replay here, because there was a lot of other errors that ended up happening. Nuguri finally goes in, but there's no follow-up from that angle because of the positioning that Gen.G had. But it was just very over-eager. And 3 kills going the way of Gen.G.
Yeah, I mean, now we have QSS on Ashe, too. You can see that she's going to forego taking her second damage item in exchange for a survivability item here up against some of the stuns and, of course, the bubbles and stuff like that. So wants to be alive and doing damage. He knows that he's going to be the main target. I mean, it's pretty obvious, especially with all the support that he will have here with their composition. But, I mean, should be sitting pretty now, I think, Gen.G. They've got a really fed Karma, and even the Renekton is going to be difficult to take down, as he's picked up a lot of value in these team fights.
This is one of the really cool things about Karma and the position that she's in this game right now, is she gets 2 legendary items, pretty much. Or not legendary. She gets 2 rare items, and they come online earlier than any other items, really, in the game, because they're so cheap. So the Athenes and the Ardent Censer combined is so oppressive in the mid game, or the mid transition and then mid game as a whole, because it's very difficult to contend with those items at this stage of the game. And now she's going to go into Rabadon's Death Cap, and she has some kills and assists augmenting her. And so she'll hit that break point faster than she normally could. ShowMaker could freeze this. He's not going to. He's got a hot date. And she's going to push that back out. I'm curious what the follow-up items across the board are going to be. DAMWON, they're not out of this game yet, but that soul point creates so much pressure in that 50-50s suddenly just lose you the game potentially, but also that they're going to be fighting that from behind.
Yeah, they're going to feel forced to try to take a fight because they don't want to just give the free Ocean Soul over, which could just be game anyway. So Gen.G just looking to try to get Ashe to that second damage item. Maybe another needlessly large rod before we do get into the next fight would be ideal for BDD. And yeah, just sitting here waiting for the Ocean Drake that is going to spawn in a couple of minutes. And we're still waiting for Gnar to really show, you know, why we've been seeing a little bit more picks here onto that champion, because he hasn't really been doing much. Lost in the lane to the Renekton due to his mistake, and his performance in the last team fight was kind of something I do not want to remember.
And I think that his performance in the next team fight is going to decide on how this game probably goes. As the whole reason this game is really struggling with some of their transitions and other periods is actually because of Nuguri. And so that's not something that happens that much for DAMWON here in summer. But he's definitely being a bit weak right now. Oh, not a good look.
Yeah.
I'm going to close my eyes here.
Well, he used it before the Ocean Drake, so
I want to point out something, by the way.
making it back.
ShowMaker is such a good builder. I was looking over his match history as well as like his solo queue history, and he consistently builds so good. In the LCS, there's a lot of Lost to Shopkeeper going on.
Yeah.
Forrest he's making a fortune. You know,
I don't know what's going on there. And note that we had BDD on the same champion against similar items, right? A lot of MR stacking, especially from the enemy mid laner, and he did go for the Oblivion Orb, so a little bit confusing. Obviously, ShowMaker is playing the scaling game this time around. Okay, here we go. You see ShowMaker is going to be spotted out, and here comes the arrow. He's just going to immediately cleanse that one with his unsealed spellbook.
Karma and Lulu so oppressive in this fight. And, I mean, the shields, they give Volibear and Renekton so much more EHP. Oh,
okay,
does anyone
here we
see
go.
it? There's no pings.
Oh, and take a look at that rage bar here for Nuguri.
Oh, man.
Yeah, he's got to build it up a little bit more, though.
Oh, this is a very awkward angle.
Yep.
Oh.
Nice flank. Okay, they're going to have the hop away here from Nuguri. He does have flash available. They're coming on
50-50.
in to the dragon, and here we go. The two beefy boys from Gen.G, but Clid, it might be burst down. He's going to get in there, and the smite is 66, and it goes to Renekton. As in the backline is Nuguri, but so is Clid and Rascal. But here we go. Ghost trying to cut it down. He's going to get burst down. The flash is over the wall. And there's nothing they can do against this Renekton, who is just leading the charge and doing insane damage in that backline. And now Gen.G with the Ocean Soul have a really good chance to take this game.
I think that there's probably no way back into this for DAMWON. This was another instance where they were really slow on deciding what they wanted to do. Do they want to get the dragon, or do they want Nuguri to go for an engage? And they couldn't seem to make up their mind. And so because of it, I mean, just take a look. Nuguri, he gets tethered by Karma. Now, he has flash. He could go in. They don't have the Bard ultimate because he whiffed it on Ashe about a moment and a half prior. And then you take a look at how close this is going on right here. Olaf flashes out. because he thinks that he doesn't have enough HP. He's going to get burst down anyway. Renekton ends up getting it. Gnar goes down to the left-hand side. Ocean picked up by Gen.G. And I mean, this is another Godzilla here in the LCK.
And Godzilla has a lot of friends, right? This is like Godzilla 5 or something, where he comes with his buddies.
Yeah, Mothra and...
Yeah, it's insane the amount of support this champion has when generally it's not supposed to be looking too good around this time of the game, but when you have that much shielding, you win the lane on top of everything else.
The Ezreal, Bard, and Zoe were definitely supposed to be the three, like King Ghidorah, the three-headed Hydra there, but not going to be able to do anything this game. Ocean is, I mean, they can try to win. They're not going to. So.
Well, they do have the Executioners on Ezreal. Other than that, not much. And again, Ocean Soul, it's like a mini Warmox, right? So you can just disengage and wait, and it's not like the anti-healing is going to solve all of your problems or anything like that. So definitely a great spot here for Gen.G. You can see they're trying to edge over here towards the Baron as BeryL, you got to be careful. Ruler frontlining a bit, and he can with that massive shield. That's the two of them. And you can look at BDD in life. They're like his little buddies right behind him. So Ragnarok is going to have to be used. That's going to catch Ruler, but there's zero follow-up. I mean, nice bubble, but doesn't mean anything. As it does seem like a slow and steady shutdown here from Gen.G.
Well, Karma is a pretty cool champion at this point. Baron is being started. Remember, they have Ocean Soul. And so we'll see what's going to go on here.
All right, they finally figure out the Baron's being taken. And take a look at this. Gen.G just saying, nope. Let's go for Nuguri. He's left out here all alone in the mid lane, and no hopping away is going to get you away from this one. As down will go the top laner. He doesn't have TP, and he's down for 50 seconds. Gen.G can essentially do whatever they want from here. I would imagine they can just run at the Baron, but it seems like they don't want to take any chances with a 50-50 smite or anything like that. ShowMaker also picking up smite with his unsealed spellbook. Ooh. That's pretty insane damage, actually.
And it'll be a miracle if DAMWON can actually win this. Just a very big Baron dance. I'm very surprised why they don't feel confident. Well, it doesn't really matter. You have Rascal down in bot lane. I mean, he's getting so much value right now. He's level 16 as well here. Guardian Angel gonna be his next item, and I really like that as just a way to suffocate any options the opponents would have. Just trying to get a pick off or something. That's not gonna be an out. We're just taking it very slow and steady. So DAMWON's out now is getting Elder, winning a team fight with a minion wave in close proximity and winning the game. And we just see what's happening. Nuguri having a very, very, very off game.
Yeah. This is not the 0-2 power spike Nuguri. This is just the straight up int Nuguri. Always cool to watch Ruler's mouse. He is extremely fast, although it didn't look like it was very close to his champion. But still getting the job done.
And I mean, at this point in the game, Elder is like do or die. Because we would assume that the team with Ocean Soul is going to get it, and once they do get it, they can demand the Baron be started and that the opponents try to respond. And then from there, you just guarantee the team fight. Ragnarok being cast. Volibear E is gonna whiff.
It's really annoying for them to deal with this. Smite comes in from Clid. And that one Ashe arrow has actually gotten a lot of value. There's no QSSs being built. There's no cleanse outside of the unsealed spellbook. BeryL does have Mikhail's. That's really just the one thing that is available for them, alongside Ragnarok, obviously. And Nuguri's just going to go for a bit of a split push, as we see as a very long-range arrow, but There's just so much defensive capability from the comp of Gen.G from ahead, especially. I mean, their karma is so unbelievably fed that, yeah, I mean, you can CC her, but unless you're getting the perfect engage, you're not going to do anything. And I think we're just trading inner turrets for Elder Drakes at this point. We'll have to wait and see. Oh boy, ShowMaker's dead. There you go, Godzilla strikes again. This is Godzilla 9. And down will go the Bard at the same time. And see that, okay, Canyon is going to get into the brush here. He does not have a Ragnarok. He's desperately trying to burst it down, and no, he will not be able to get it.
He smites for HP, but there's nothing he can really do. Gnar by himself trying to do, I mean, I guess anything. But.
Well, they're not going to go back. They're going to send Renekton, and the rest of them will push the bottom lane. And Renekton is extremely scary right now. This is the return of the lizard coming on in. And that will be this inhibitor, and I think they're going to go for more here. They might as well. Still 5 seconds on ShowMaker. Nuguri is not going to be able to go for a recall. As, okay, we're going to have the Tempered Fate, but that was a nice try. It's not good enough. Roller just enabled way too much in a great early game from the side of Gen.G. Should be the winning factor. They're not actually going for the Nexus. They're going for kills here. As now finally they are going to turn onto that Nexus. GG, we will be having a game